Yo, what up, street togs, street gods, street vlogs? Alright, some turbo thoughts for us. So these are some fun thoughts, a little bit of earthing, right? The most important things when you have good sun finally, gotta flex. Okay, so anyways, so how I conquered photography, some thoughts on money, etc. So one of the good things with money is about control and ownership. So he or she who owns the house or pays the rent or pays the utilities ultimately has the ultimate dictatorial say on said things X, Y, and Z. And I think also the reason why fitness instructors and yoga teachers like to do what they do is they like to have a sense of power and control. So even Jay-Z says, right, it's like, you know, ninjas fighting for power, right? Everybody wants more power. Now the question is, how do people seek power and do they actually get it, etc. So money not for the sake of money, but money for the sake of power and control, because when you have money, not always, but sometimes, money allows you to do more X, Y, and Z things which are to your desire, right? Or also money is a good way to decide what not to do. So, you know, not having to report to a boss, etc. seems like the reason why a lot of people like to strive to become self-employed. And then this is the thing. It's better to be self-employed entrepreneur, sole proprietor, earning $40,000 a year and only paying $500 a month in rent, and being self-owned and just doing anything and everything that you want to do and not having to do anything you don't want to do, than to be, you know, CEO of Apple or Amazon or Google, earning $10 million a year in salary, right? Like, I'm actually, maybe I should Google them. Like, how much does Sundar actually make as CEO of Google a year? Even Tim Cook, I'm not even sure what his salary is, but even if you're getting paid $10 million a year in salary, you're still a slave. Salary just means salt. When the Roman generals were paid in salt. But anyways, so freedom is actually the ultimate goal. And I was even thinking too, like, even the reason why I'm kind of interested now in doing more consulting stuff like that, if you need some consulting advice, just shoot me an email, eric@erickim.com, is because, like, consulting is interesting because it's like, assuming you're a self-employed consultant, not actually working for a corporation, it's one of the best ways you could propagate your thoughts, philosophies, and ideas at scale rather than starting things from scratch. So for example, got a lot of good ideas for Apple and all these tech companies and stuff like that. It's hard to start a company from scratch. Easier to give suggestions and advice. And also the thing too is, like, everything I say, right? None of this is imperatives. It's just some ideas and thoughts and opinions, and it's just something I'm passionate about. Like, even I guess I suppose I am very fortunate because marketing, branding, that kind of stuff, it's my passion, and it also happens to be something which is highly venerated in today's capitalistic world. So actually studying sociology was probably the greatest boon of my life, because studying sociology helps you better understand society and her biases and desires. And that's the ultimate goal for a marketer. What's the difference between marketing and advertising? I mean, more or less it's the same thing, but I don't know, I like the idea of marketing because marketing, merchant, mercenary, the marketplace, the agora, it's fun, it's lively, dynamic. Even in photography, right? Traveling abroad, what is the most fun place to do? Go to the marketplace, right? Or, you know, modern day marketplace, aka the mall, or the marketplace of bodies, which is the gym or core power yoga. So, but anyways, I'm getting off the topic like I always do. Okay, so some thoughts. So with photography, essentially it's like gain some sort of aesthetic taste in terms of what you consider a beautiful photograph and strive to make as beautiful photographs as possible. And it means to be implacable, to not be satisfied, and always strive to create something so sublimely beautiful to you that it puts a smile on your face. Almost like, this is a thought too, strive to make photos in which you look at it and you forget that you shot. You're like, wow, that's actually a good photo. So I've been looking at some of my old photos recently, just on my iPad, the old iClouds photos camera roll, and I'm like looking back at these old pictures and I'm like, man, I'm like a pretty good photographer. Yeah, I think let's see, currently still not as good as HCB, but I think I'm going to become the next Henri Cartier-Bresson slash whatever. I mean, in my mind, I already see myself as superior to Henri Cartier-Bresson insofar much as, you know, I lift weights. HEB didn't. I mean, and also I haven't given up on photography. I love photography and I still shoot all the time. If you're curious, what is the best camera? The Ricoh GR3X is still the GOATs. If you haven't bought one yet, buy one. If your partner or spouse gets angry, just blame it on EK. It's like, Eric Kim told me to do it. Yeah, I think currently speaking, the best camera, including the iPhone Pro, whatever, is still the Ricoh GR3X, even when compared to the digital medium format cameras. Why? Because it could fit in your front right pocket. All right. And shout out to Lululemon, get the license to train shorts. Honestly, just I'm like kind of over black. Just get, I bought the black ones full price, but then I recently got some faded Zap, the hyper neon green ones on clearance. Just buy Lululemon clearance clothes and just get the most audacious, loud colors. It's more hype. And also with photography, yeah, just think really long term. Like I started seriously making shooting photos when I was 21. I'm 34, turning 35 soon. Oh, curious, my birthday's coming up January 31st. Born January 31st, 1988. And I'm turning 35. So I'm turning 35, so I started photography when I was 21. Actually, no, technically I started when I was 18. Can't do the maths. How long have I been shooting? Definitely over a decade. So I'm looking forward to the next decade, the next 20, 30 years, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, 100 years. Like, it's my personal aspiration to live until I'm 120 years old. I do this through intermittent fasting, no alcohol, drugs, nothing like that. The only drug I drink is black coffee. And taking a lot of naps. It's a good idea. Maximal time in the sun. Doing yoga, weightlifting. Let's see. If I'm 35, I mean, I at least have another good 80 years of my life. So just think about it this way. I mean, I don't know how old you is, but then let's just shoot for something like audacious. Like, how can you structure your life in which you could be inspired to shoot for the next 60 years of your life? I mean, simple thoughts: JPEG, small JPEG, use an iPad Pro to import just keep everything synced on Apple Photos. I don't like Lightroom. I like Apple Photos. Shout out to the Photos team, Yells the Goats. And your blog, I think, and also YouTube. I'm starting to think it's like, probably like, so funny. This is like, my website has a 1 million file limit, and I have to keep deleting old images and stuff. So actually I look back at my old blog posts and stuff like that, my old pages, my website, so many broken links for the images because I had deleted them to make room for the new. One of the good things with videopress.com or YouTube is I think like YouTube links last kind of forever. So it's just, maybe just like create photo slides. Shouldn't just treat it like free image hosting. And also I think videos is the future, actually not photos. Photos is still our artistic passion and pursuit. However, the most robust way to be more entertaining is to create videos. I think even whenever I teach workshops and stuff like that, I meet people IRL, people's like, not like, I like your blog photos, like, Eric, I love your YouTube channel, or I love your videos, I love your vlogs, right? And yeah, so even this is a fun optimistic thought is, I plan on uploading videos to YouTube or podcasts or my own video press, my own website for the next 120 years. Sure, why not, right? And I don't want to live forever. I want to die at 120. If I die at 110, that's okay too. Being in fantastic health. So yeah, I mean, if you think it as super long term, 50, 60 years, right? Like even Teslas, I think Teslas are great. I'm a big fan of Elon Musk, etc. But even the old Model S's are starting to show their age. Somebody think touchscreens are bad because the display technology evolves so quickly. So even apparently the older Model S's, the screens are so slow and laggy. And imagine the difference between using the OG iPad versus the new iPad Pro with 120 hertz change. And so I mean, ideally the best kind of touchscreen for a car, I mean, maybe Apple, you guys should work on this. It's like kind of like, imagine the magnetic dock for your car where you could just throw in your iPad and just magically snaps in. So rather than having to upgrade the touchscreen of your car, you could just toss in a new iPad Pro and boom, you already got a new display. I think that's a smart idea. I mean, I've seen some Uber drivers in Southeast Asia do this where they somehow like jerry hacked their center console dash and just tossed in an iPad. I think that's super smart. I'll take my 11-inch iPad Pro and just make that the touchscreen. So this is where I'm still for like older gasoline cars which don't have touchscreens, and also it's just safer on the road. My only interest in like Teslas and this kind of cars is like an autopilot function, like say you're going to LAX or something, so not having to be stuck in stop and go traffic. Apparently even the new Prius has the commute mode where for speeds under 25 it just auto drives you in the lane. I mean, that seems super convenient, but once again, ultimately the best lifestyle is you don't have to drive a car at all. You can just walk to the gym and stuff like that. And so that's the best way to leverage your Archimedes lever. Just vlog at home, use the internet connection, whatever's. Also pro tip, so I'm recording this Lumix G9 Rode video mic, like a Lumix 12mm 1.4 lens, shooting at 4K 24 FPS. Just import into your laptop and export it as 720p video and upload it. I think 720p is big enough, hits the right spot. And yeah, I think with photography, you kind of create your own ruler of success. Delete your Instagram, don't upload photos to Facebook, upload them to your own website, blog instead. And what you want to do is aim to, with photography, just create like a child. Like you just create for the sake of creating, and it's fun for you and interesting, and then you're on to the next one. So in some ways, being forgetful of your old photos is a good idea, but know that The joy is to keep creating, to think of your photos as a continual stream. Delete Instagram, put it on your own website and blog instead, and you shall thrive.